started.
Well, welcome. I'm so glad to have you with us on September the 10th, 2024. I'm Steve Carver, and I'm speaking with you from my home office now studio in Dunn, North Carolina. My presentation number 1131, so I'm glad to have you all join me on my journey and let me join you on your journey into entrepreneurship, and we'll move it along. Let me tell you right now that I am not a lawyer or a tax attorney. I'm just a fellow that's been in business for a long time and glad to share with you a lot of do's and don'ts and mistakes and good things that I've done through the years to help you avoid some pitfalls and hopefully help your getting started in business to have a lot less stress and a lot more profit. So that's kind of what we're after. I always, in giving advice, first advice is always get a second and even third opinion before you make a major decision about your business or security. That's so important to do. And the best place that I know of, and we're so fortunate in North Carolina to have small business centers at our community college. They are located in the community colleges, but not necessarily for the college students. They are there for the small business entrepreneurs in the neighborhoods, and we're sponsored tonight by the Small Business Center at Nash Community College, where Ruthie Holloman is the director, and she is a wonderful director who gives it all of her heart and soul to try to help you guys. So make sure that you're welcome to stay in touch with her. I hope that each and every one of you will have a chance to have a meeting with Ruthie or the director that's in your area, and you can give her a call at 252-451-8344. That's 252-451-8344, or drop her an email and set up an appointment. There's no charge. It's free. It is totally confidential, and absolutely amazing the resources that Ruthie has at her disposal. So she is in a position to give you good advice, and it's totally confidential and no charge. So go for it. She's located in the William S. Carver. I don't think there's any kinship there, but William S. Carver Continuing Education Building, room 8259, if you wanted to visit the offices there. You are with us tonight on presentation number 1 of a 6-part series, 14-hour course, basically on do-it-yourself, starting your own business in 2024. This program is designed for folks that are just getting into business and starting, and or people that want to grow a business they already have that may be a little stale, or that you're wanting to add new things and develop new profit centers and take your business in a new direction. We cover it all. And in each session, there's just a lot of information to be shared, which may or may not be vital to you at this particular moment in time. But I'll assure you, by the end of the course, you will be glad that you've picked the information up and are saying, as all of our students usually do, what a rewarding thing it's been for you and gratifying. So tonight on September 10th, we kick it off with basically finding the mindset and talking about the basic things that you want to think about as you're starting a business or revitalizing your business. And then we take it through 5 other classes, hitting the basic fundamental business skills that all of us need to own and run our business. So we'll be doing these on Tuesday night. Now, y'all got a blessing in that on Thursday night, you can tune back in as we give the class for the Sampson Community College. Folks that are tuning in on Thursday night will be doing basically the same lesson on Tuesdays as Thursdays. But the real benefit is that if you should have to miss a Tuesday night session, you can pick it back up on Thursday. And or if there was a lot of stuff loaded into one session and you would like to hear it again, then you're certainly able and always welcome to rejoin us again on Thursday nights. As far as winnings and earning certificates and awards, I treat these simultaneously. So it makes no difference to me whether you attend on Tuesday or Thursday nights or both. I'll give you credit for your attendance towards your certificates and such as that. But I do encourage you to either do your best to stay with one night or the other, so you can set aside Tuesday nights or you can set aside either Thursday nights and make it more of a structured class visit for you. My story is, that's a quick introduction. I started in business when I was 12 years old with my dad when he started a farm tractor dealership here in Dunn, North Carolina in 1959. Just to give you a reference to age there, of course, that's 65 years ago, and in summer of 1959 is when Interstate 95 was paved through this part of North Carolina. So when we came up from Fayetteville to Dunn, we came up a dirt road, and it was Interstate 95. And that was quite a difference because our business was located on 301, which really had a lot of traffic. So that's how far back we go dating. So we've been around a while, and I'm still doing business with the great-grandchildren of the folks that did business with my dad that long ago. So being able to stay in business 65 years gives you a lot of insight and a lot of water under the bridge, so to speak, but just a whole world of people and contacts that we met. Our business started out as a small tractor dealership, but now it's evolved into an internet dealership, carverequipment.com. I'd like for you to make a note of this because I don't expect y'all to be buying much farm equipment, but we will use this website. My website is a teaching tool all the way through the series of lessons. So familiarize yourself with it. You'll see things that are different here than any other place, things that are working, and I'm glad to share them with you and encourage you to copy anything that you like, that you see that works good, because this is all about you and your business being a success. My other enterprises through the years, I've been involved in lots and lots of businesses. I owned a commercial lawn masters company for over 12 or 14 years while I had so many kids in college. I needed the extra income. We mowed grass in 3,000 apartments every week during the mowing season in 22 different towns in North Carolina. I had over 25 employees go out every day to mow that grass, and so I've had a lot of experience in contracting work, and therefore I can help you with that if that's what you're doing. Also done governmental contracts of a lot of different types, everything from mowing grass to spreading fertilizer to doing motor pool work for the vehicles coming back and going to the war. Just a lot of experience with that type of contracting, plus many other enterprises, including large rental and leasing companies, which I have owned through the years. That's equipment rentals and leasing companies. Large family here, 14 kids, 12 children, 14 grandchildren, and 2 greats that are here now. We have large crowds, large families, and you know right now that anybody that's got that many children and grandchildren knows what drama is, because there's always drama, just like it is in any type of business that you're in. And the more drama you can deal with and manage, the better business person you can be. But my family sends greetings to your family for a great fall season and holiday season, which is right around to us. So God bless you and your family. And y'all pray for us as well. We need all the help we can get. If you'll stay with us through this series of lessons, we'll be going steady for the next 6 weeks. I'll look forward to it. I'll reserve my Tuesday nights for you and make sure you have a good lesson to come and learn new things from. And if you can reserve your Tuesday nights for me and our lessons, I'll do my very best to make sure you're 100% satisfied and want to come back each and every time. I'd like for you to go ahead and find me on Facebook. This is my cover page, Steve Carver or Anthony Stephen Carver, either way you like it. It'll be the photo with just the clouds, the sun and the clouds there. If you will, find me on Facebook, give me a like and a short note, and because we'll be watching each other as to how you're promoting your business on your business pages and helping each other along there. So I look forward to working with you there. I like to use a little bit of chat during each one of our lessons. So if y'all have access to your chat button, and I know a couple of you may be on your telephones, and that may not be easy for you. But let's just do a little chat conversation to learn about each other here. Each night we'll spend a little time answering questions and doing quizzes on the chat. What type of weather do you like? We've got a change of seasons in here. How about going to your chat button and tell me what's your favorite type of weather? Is it cool, warm, hot? What's your preference there? Let me see this chat board light up. Y'all find it and get used to using this chat. There we go. Sarah's in there with a cool weather. I like it cool, but I don't like it cold. I get the shivers and can't warm up good. There you go. Thank you, Robbie. The football weather, I agree with that, and that season is here for sure. So that's a good chat response. Let's see what else we got. How about your ages? Let's talk about general ages. Generally, in these classes, I'll have a group of folks that are 20 to 30, and then 30 to 50, and then I usually have a pretty good crowd that's over 60. So are you over 40 or under 40? Use your chat button there. Alan, Tasha, tell me about your ages there. And also, while you're thinking about it, is the business you're thinking about starting with these classes, will it be full-time or part-time or maybe a side hustle? There you go. Thank you all for participating in the chat. Kind of gets you into it, and as we move along, the lessons will stay with you a lot better. Full-time, this is great. This is great. I'll teach different lessons, and the more I learn about you, the more we can focus on what your needs are, and such as that. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate your input there coming on through. Now, the city or town. Tell me what town or city that you live in now, just to get an idea of the spread we have across the country. And it's amazing. I've had some people from overseas join our classes as we go along, and from all over the United States. I've had several long-haul truck drivers that every week they were in a different state even. There's Elm City. I have friends at Elm City and Roseboro as well. So thank you all. Greensboro is from where my mother's family is from. Pets. My pet is an English bulldog, and his name is Otis, and I'll show you some pictures of him later on. But Otis is in charge. Do you have a pet? And if so, what kind is it? And what's his name? Plants are the pets. Okay, Mika, I hear you. Anybody got a bulldog? How about that? Black Lab, that is a good one, no doubt about that. Okay, you will be eligible to win and earn certificates and awards through the lesson series. So you'll hear a lot about that as we go along. And one of the handouts that have been emailed to you will explain all that. You will, if you attend at least five of these 6 classes, you'll earn a certificate of completion certificate from the Small Business Center, which we're glad to prepare and send to you. So it's at least 5 of the 6 classes. There's a typo there where it says 8. You're not required to do a thing. Just sit back and enjoy the process. If you do, however, want to go the extra mile and use these lessons and really put them into place and go in gear like so many people do, that's great as well. I just want you to attend and enjoy and share with us what you're up to. Each time when you pre-register, you'll get a return email back that'll have a lot of attachments to it. This isn't where I'm just trying to fill up your email. It is indeed where I'm trying to give you study guides that you will be able to use any way you like to help you move along with your homework assignments and help you get your business up and running. The main one that I want you to look at first each time is the one that starts out with the number, which is my presentation number, and that is an outline of what we're talking about, the talking points for the whole lesson, and it will be the best one for you to use as a notepad if you want to print it out and use it to take notes with. But this week's lesson, you got a lot of stuff in here to be interested in. I want to tell you that this is indeed the season when we talk about doing our fall marketing, seasonal marketing issues, and that's so important that a lot of new entrepreneurs and folks that have been in business a long time just ignore the opportunity to do seasonal marketing. So you have 2 handouts in there I'd like for you to go ahead and look at during the next 2 weeks, and we'll focus on it in week 3 when we talk about marketing, about the importance of seasonal marketing. I operate and put together the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates as a doing business as name, but mainly a way that I can bring the folks that are coming to the webinars and seminars together on Facebook. We get to meet each other and do a lot of things, but the whole purpose for the Academy is to promote mutual helpfulness and high standards, and I'll be sending you lots of information about the Academy. You're not required to do anything at all, but if you choose to go through the process and do a lot of your homework and meet the standards to become an associate member, we'll welcome as many people as we can to bring in. We have a mission, vision, and promise statements that I'll be sharing with you. Those of you that go the extra mile, we'll certainly we'll give you, highlight you with each class and talk about your business. The more information you tell me about what you're doing, the more we can use use a teaching tool, promote your business, and show other people how to do it. In each class, we recognize the one that is the first in class that has made the most progress. In our last class, it was Mike Stutz over in Carborough who got his affordable handyman business up and running. So proud of Mike. He did every piece of homework that he could and even more, and put together some great videos. So Mike was very serious about getting his business started, so he was our first in class. The session before that, Pam Allen over at Rose Hill with a farming and vegetable and selling homemade foods business, doing a great job. I'm so proud of Pam. Before that, it was Sherwaki Mitchell in Roanoke Rapids with her crafting business, and really has shown us how to promote a crafting business online. So I'll be sharing more information with what she's done and helping us teach marketing online with hers. And just so proud of Darcy Garcia in Raleigh, who opened up her own florist business early in the year. After a number of years of working in the florist business, opened up her own, and she's doing really well. So I'll be sending you some links to her business, and just amazing how much energy these new associates have, and it's contagious, and that's why I like to share it with everyone. So again, let's stay together the next 6 weeks and see this through, and we'll work it. Getting into it now a little bit, let's talk about some tiny tips of wisdom that I think will help you and have a good, better understanding of where we're coming from. We can do all our planning, and we'll do lots of planning through these sessions, but I want you to always know that no matter how much you're trying to and doing planning the right way, plan for the unexpected. There's always a new curveball coming your way, and I want you to be tough enough to know that it's coming and have the toolbox and the tool belt to handle these problems that are going to come your way. So that's why I spend a lot of time with risk management tools to help you, because unexpected things are coming. Put a team of people around you that you can trust and talk to, folks that will give you good advice. I'm so glad to hear Sarah say that she had been to the Small Business Center and learning to meet those folks and share with other people. The networking that you can do as you're taking these classes will be very, very important. Put people that you can trust. Find a place to charge your battery, because it's tough getting a business started, and some days are really trying. And find a spiritual place, a place that you can be inspired, and talk with people that will help you. I hereby volunteer to help you all that I possibly can. You're welcome to send me emails and ask questions or ask advice. It'll be totally confidential. With the exception is that I do share information with the Small Business Center director as I'm working for them. That's my responsibility, unless you ask me not to. Nobody ever does, so that's a good thing. But put together people around you that have a little bit of sense and can lead you in the right direction. Things that go wrong from time to time, literally, no matter how you plan, that this business plan or this budget, this may not work. I'm just saying that right up front, so that you don't get discouraged. Just know that it's just part of it. And the key to it is we learn how to adapt and move forward. My job is to be assertive. And that word is not a very pleasant word, as a lot of people might take it in. But in our business, we have to be assertive, because nobody is motivated until someone else is assertive. So maybe it's not your nature to think that you are assertive, but I want to tell you that you need to move in that direction if you're going to motivate folks. And I feel like that my job is to motivate. But your job is to find the endurance, and I like this word, the endurance, to stay in the game. The key to entrepreneurship, the key to having a sustainable business is to stay in the game long enough to learn the fine points that it takes to be profitable, to learn the fine points that it takes to communicate with your potential customers. You have to stay in there, and sometimes it's really tough to do, but it's going to take that dedication to stay in the game, because in entrepreneurship, the way you win the game is to stay in it. The way you win the game is to stay in it. The objective to winning is not to be a billionaire or to have airplanes and to do this and that. The objective that I want you to adapt to is to stay in it long enough to get really good at your business, and then let it be sustainable so you can stay in it as long as you want to. Remember, please, I believe that I can be and do a lot more than what I'm doing. And I'm asking you, don't give up on me. Please don't give up on me. Stay with me, learn, help me be a better teacher. I believe that I can do more and do better. And I have to tell myself that on an often basis. But more importantly, please believe with me that you can be so much more and do so much more. And I promise you that I'll never give up on you. Hang in there together. Find people that believe in you, won't give up on you, and will help you move forward. That's what we want to do. Each week we'll have a new word. So we'll have, in this series, we'll have 6 new words that we're going to try to put into our vocabulary and think about, words that we usually don't use a lot in normal business days. But I want us to think about these words, because they, just in their sales and their definition, they'll help move us forward to be better entrepreneurs. And tonight's word is shrewd, and you might use it as shrewdness, as in being smart. It's having and showing a cleverness and a judgment. I want you to achieve that, to be shrewd. Sarah, for you to be a great visionary for people you're working for and to help them move forward, it don't mean that you need to do more than just know the basics. You want to understand how the business works so that you can offer advice and new ideas. That's being shrewd. That's being savvy. And that's what we're after here, going that extra mile to carry things to clever and being intelligent and smart and to do those things. So the word is shrewd. Let's try to use that all we can in next coming weeks. I know a shrewd used car dealer that knows how to make the best possible deals and shrewd investments that pay off big. That's good as examples of how you might use the word in sentences. So give that some thought to how you can be more shrewd, more savvy in what you're doing. Now, a reminder right now, again, fall is here. And in your business, if you're already in business and need to do some marketing that gets people's attention, remember to use the seasons in your marketing. In the handouts that have been sent to you, there's over 200 slogans and lots of new incentives and strategies that you can use to put fall marketing in place. That's just a reminder for the seasons. Now, part of what we'll do in this series is there's 40 drill skills that I've developed, and these are basic skills for new entrepreneurs, ways of doing things, ways of thinking that I want you to get into your DNA so you'll be using them every day to help you make decisions. And in the series here, we'll go through 8 of them, each lesson until we complete them, just to give you a good idea how to work it. In your handouts, there's one that has a video with each one of these drill skills that'll take you about 30 seconds to watch. And I'm encouraging you on your time to watch these videos that I prepared for you to help you with the drill skills. So starting now, on week 1, the first drill skill we're going to think about is, what about a business plan? It's great to have one that's going to help us to avoid unexpected pitfalls. But the whole part of a business plan, whether you've been in business for 1 year or for 50 years, is for you to be able to determine what's left. What's left after you subtract your expenses from your income to determine what's left, and is your plan keeping you in black ink or profitability? Next week, we'll talk about business plans and budgeting for a business plan, which is the same as saying if you're already in business, how to develop new profit centers and plan a budget for them so that when you bring something new into your business, it'll be profitable for you. Business plans go hand in glove with marketing plan. You can't hardly have one without the other and be successful. In week 3, we'll talk about marketing, and I'll teach the golden goose marketing plan, I like to call it, because it will tell you what's next. A marketing plan, if you have it in place and you follow it, you'll be able to feel real good about the business that's coming your way in the future. To plan for it, to know what you need to have on certain dates, what products are working good for you and not. So indeed, you'll have a sense of security. I've been in business a long time, and there were a lot of years that I'd spend month after month just not knowing if I was going to be able to make it another 6 months or not. Things would get tight, cash flow would go south, and all kinds of problems. But once I put a structured marketing plan in place and stayed with the basics that we'll be teaching you in week 3, things got a whole lot better. I had a lot less stress and pretty much knew that if I stayed with my marketing plan, I'll be able to be in business. I couldn't control what the economy was doing, but I could almost guarantee that I would be bringing in enough business to remain sustainable. That's really important. Number 3, you need to understand that there are 3 different types of marketable profit centers. So you may have never heard that term before, marketable profit centers. And you got a handout that explains it in depth. But if you are doing something in your business to make money, that's a profit center. And if it's something that you can market separately, that's a marketable profit center. And marketable profit centers, you can market them separately and bring in different groups of customers. And the more different customer groups you can bring in, the more sustainable your business will be. So we'll talk in depth about these different profit centers, but there's 3 types. One is the profit centers that you design and promote in your business to bring in new customers and more business traffic every day, but mainly traffic builder and getting new customers. These are profit centers where you're actually maybe lowered the price or have real low margins to take customers away from your competition. That's just bottom line. So they're not going to be very profitable, but we have to bring in new customers. Why? Most businesses will lose 1/3 of their customers every year. 1/3 of your customers, and it's a vary with different types of businesses, but that's a good average. And if you're in a military town like Fayetteville or Jacksonville or Goldsboro, you might lose half of your customers every year. So we're always thinking about what can I do to bring the new folks in. The second type of profit center are those that we use merchandising to promote continuous business, continuous sales. And these we need to be at higher margins because this is going to be repeat business that we're after. And we design our business and our merchandising and our marketing to keep those people coming back. And the third type of profit center are big ticket items. It's a lot more fun to go to the bank and deposit $5,000 than it is to deposit $5, right? Yeah, that $5,000 deposit puts a smile on your face and a little bit of pep in your step. So we want to be able to make some large deposits sometimes because reality of it is making small deposits on small ticket items, it's hard to create enough profit volume to take care of some rainy day bills or unexpected expenses or to build up some savings. So I'd like to encourage folks to figure out a way in your business to create some large ticket items, some large invoices so you can create enough profit on those items to have money to set aside and in order to realize some real profit margins. So we'll figure out how to do all 3 of those, and we'll get into these a little bit later, even tonight. I want you to have at least 5 each profit centers in your business. Remember, there were 3 types, but I want you to have at least five things going on to help you have a sustainable business. let me tell you, and I believe this at the bottom of my heart, if you're just doing one thing will always go south at some point in time. Nothing lasts forever in small business. So you want to have several different ways that you're bringing people in and bringing money in so that you can do business in January, February, March, through the summer, through the fall, and through the winter to keep a constant cash flow. Now, always some seasons are going to be better for you than others, but plan to have money coming in all year long. And the best way to do that is to have at least 5 profit centers. I think I have approximately 26 profit centers in my business. And that spread, that diversity, really helps my cash flow year round. The term RFC in my classes, you will hear it very often because it's very important to me, as I know it will be very important to you. So when I asked you what is an RFC, I want you to type in raving fan customer. So let's go to your chat board right now, and we'll get this over with because for the next 6 weeks. What is an RFC? Go to your chat board. Everybody type it in, and it will help you remember it. What is an RFC? An RFC is a raving fan customer. And what is a raving fan customer? That's a customer that leaves your business after doing some business with you or just meeting you, and goes out into the world and starts marketing your business for you free of charge. That's a person that believes in you and wants your business to work. And next week and the week after, I'll teach you the secrets to creating an RFC. And it's a very definite secret because they don't happen by themselves. There's some definite things that we need to do to create that RFC. Thank you, David and Sarah, for typing in. The rest of you, appreciate it. Some more words, some more letters now. NDCP. Remember the rock, paper, scissors thing we used to do? Rock, paper, scissors, right? Well, this is NDCP. This is no demand, change to plan. We don't work hard for a budgeted and business plan next week and afterwards, but I want to tell you there's a good chance that there will be parts of it that don't work, because we don't have the experience. We haven't done it yet. In writing business plans for a business just getting started, it's all guesswork. And I want to tell you now, we can't get it right all the time. But I can tell you that we're not going to throw the business plan away because a few things in it aren't working. We're going to change the plan. If there's not enough demand to make this profit center be profitable, we'll change the plan and not get discouraged. Just know that change is happening all the time. Whether you've been in business 6 months or 60 years, we're making changes all the time, and just know that's part of it. That's part of being in business. Four more letters now is ABCD. That stands for always be connecting the dots. Always be connecting the dots. ABCD. So if I asked you, please, what are the 4 letters that represent A, B, C, D? Show me in chat what you're going to type down. And these are really important. It's simple, it's easy to remember. A, B, C, D is always be connecting the dots. Now, what in the world am I talking about? When we make decisions in our business, it's important that we make the decisions that are in line and make sense with other decisions that we made. We want to connect our dots in a circle, not in a square, not in a straight line, because a small business, your mindset, the mindset that we're after tonight, Robbie, is that we want our business to be a perfect circle like a wheel so we can keep it rolling. This wheel needs to keep rolling. Our business needs to stay in business and stay continuous. So as we make decisions, they need to make sense with the other ones to make. Let's just say that, okay, we need a new vehicle in our business, and I've got a hardware store, and what I really need is a 1-ton pickup truck with a nice flat stake body bed on it. And I can go buy me a used one, maybe for $20,000. That is a nice truck, and I'll get a lot of use out of it and make money with it. So that's what I'm going to do. But, I start riding around, and over there's this beautiful red, brand new Ram truck, 2500 series with a nice body on it and all kind of extras. And it's just so pretty, and it looks so good with my name on the side of it. It'd be a good advertising thing. And I can buy that truck for $58,000. and it just looks good and it feels good and my credit is standing, I'm going to go buy that new truck for 58 grand. That is not connecting the dots in the right way. What we needed to do was to hold on and make our business decision, buy the used truck, make money with it, keep our debt load down, make decisions that make sense, and make the business keep rolling on. Sometimes we're new in this and we don't think things through, and it's so easy to make mistakes doing that. I have made a bucket full through the years. I can testify that I should have listened to my own lessons, but I wasn't teaching then. I was making dumb butt decisions. So make your decisions that make sense. A, B, C, D. Keep them in line. Number 7, the 3 words that have more impact on you as one of my associate members for the rest of your business life. For the whole best of your business life, these 3 words can make you more money than anything else. And the 3 words are by the way. By the way, because they are the password to upsells and cross sales and stacking profits. Now, don't that have a nice sound to it? Stacking profits. By the way is the key. By the way is when we have our profit centers lined up, then when a customer buys one thing, we're able to say to them right then, and by the way, I've also got this. And by the way, I've also got this. And if we teach our sales and our employees to use by the wage system, we'll see our sales double and triple on day one. And when we double and triple our sales, we're doubling and tripling our profits. Example, let's say the customer comes in and has an interest in buying some paint. Let's say you're selling paint today. Well, you've got exactly what they need. You make them happy. They're all set. And as soon as you see that they've got that paint, everything's good, you pop it. You say, and by the way, we've got some of these new empty buckets that we can sell you for stirring. And by the way, we've got a good selection of different types of brushes. And by the way, we've got a good selection of tape and drop cloths. And by the way, we buy the way the heck out of them as long as they keep spending money. And what you're doing is you're making that customer so happy because you're helping them remember things that they would really like to have remembered themselves and completing the sale. By the way, helps you complete the sale. And if we do this with our customers and we do this with our employees, you will immediately see a jump in sales and profitability. By the way, the 3 most important words for small businesses. Next, there's 3 really important rules when you're catching fish. Now, I'll change the subject here a little bit. Let's talk about fishing. I love to fish. And when you go out in the ocean, if you're going to go to the ocean and you catch fish, I'll guarantee you will catch fish if you follow 3 rules. Now, rule number 1 is keep fresh bait in the water. And rule number 2 is keep fresh bait in the water. Now, who can guess what rule number 3 is? Yeah, it's keep fresh bait in the water. And if you follow these 3 rules, you will catch fish in the ocean. It may not be exactly what you were fishing for, but you will catch fish. But we're not talking about fish tonight. We're talking about catching customers. And it's the same rules apply. Instead of keeping fresh bait in the water, we have to keep fresh promotions in the marketplace. Fresh promotions in the marketplace and keep fresh promotions in the water place is keeping fresh bait in the water. Now, I see a lot of you, some of you like Tamara, this means keeping fresh postings at Facebook, keep fresh emails going out, keep doing fresh videos so that people will see that you are alive and well and something special. Very, very important. And we'll really focus on this big time. So getting your business started, in part 1 is where we are tonight. Can just take in a lot of different factors that are important to you, and I know that. And I can't cover them at all, but I will touch on all of them at one point or another through this series. That's why it's important as you hang with it. So we're going to talk about a lot of different subjects, and tonight we're going to talk about part 1. So let's learn to be shrewd. Remember that, shrewd. Let's be smart. Let's be showing cleverness in our judgment. Now, I wrote a book of 5 or 6 years ago about 24 things that you must do before starting a business. It's at Amazon.com. You can order it. It's very inexpensive, but you really don't need to, because tonight's handout and study guide is basically comes right out of the book, and we cover a lot of things. They're not as deeply as in the book, but we cover the chapters. So if you're just getting started and you went to a business coach like me, or to a small business center director, they're going to ask you a lot of questions. As a matter of fact, we've all got a prepared list of 35 or 40 questions that we need to ask. Not necessarily that we learn the answers, but it's necessary that you all learn the answers for yourself to help get the mindset that you need. And always one of the first questions are going to be, like I asked earlier, full-time or part-time. And we had a pretty much an even split here earlier with you guys, going to be full-time or part-time. But more importantly, are you going to be personally active in the business? Are you going to start a business where you hire someone else just to do all the work or to run it for you, or you don't have a lot of employees do it for you? Or are you going to be there making sales? Are you going to be there interacting directly with your customer, or in other words, doing chargeable time, billable time? You need to ask yourself that, and what percentage of your time are you going to give to this business? If you're thinking about growing the business, enlarging it, opening up a branch office, doing something like that, you need to ask yourself, how much percentage of my time am I going to involve in that? Really important, so that you can put together a business plan that'll help make it work. Next, is your business going to be home-based, a mobile business, an internet business, a bricks and mortar storefront business, or maybe a combination? Really important that you decide this and nail it down, because as you're doing your business planner and your budget, each one of these different types of businesses will require different functions and purposes in your business and marketing plans. Which one is the least expensive business that you can start up? And in chat, just type in, let me just ask you a question. Of these different types of business, which one will cost you the least amount of money usually to get started? A home base, internet, bricks and mortar. What do you think? Home base, internet? Well, that's a mix there. Well, generally it's the home base, because you've already got that. And then next, as someone has already mentioned, internet would come in second. But that depends on what type of internet business you're doing and what's going to be required in it. So generally a home-based business is the best way to do it. Now, I have a home-based business right here that we're doing tonight, but it's also an internet business, because it's involved in using the internet, talking with you guys. My other business is an internet business where I sell equipment on the internet. So that's a combination of home plus internet plus internet. That makes my business plan a little bit more complicated. And then I do other things like appraising and going out giving webinars in person to person. All these different variables in your business you need to take into consideration as you're writing your business plan and the combination. What date do you hope to be open? When do you want your business to be open? Or when do you want this new profit center, this new thing that you're going to add to your business? When do you want it to be alive and well and generating income for you? Most businesses will take at least 6 months, minimum 6 months, to get the ducks in the row from conception to putting it in business. But now let me tell you, my friends, doing these classes for 15 years, sometimes it takes 6 years. Sometimes maybe you're into a job already, you want to keep that, you take it at your pace. And this is where I say, fine, stay at your pace, but just stay motivating and moving forward. Take baby steps. Don't take any more risks than you have to, but have a plan. And we'll talk about how to get a plan in place for you. What are the products or services or information? What are you selling? Write it down. What are you selling? And be as specific as you can in the different products that you're going to be offering. Sarah, I would say to you that people that are thinking about doing virtual work for folks, Be specific in what your strong suits are and what you think you can bring to the customer. Most importantly, don't just talk in general terms, but be ready to focus in on particular tasks that you can bring. For example, I've got some people that are helping me that are really good with videos and not so good with doing email campaigns. And I have someone else that helps me with email campaigns. I have some other folks that help me with my database management, such as that. So all these are very important. Of course, I have a bookkeeper. That's her job. So be specific with what you're offering and get really good at the things you're offering to your customers, so you'll be the best in the business at it. How about your credit score? You don't need to be operating with some credit management. And at this point in time, is your credit score attractive to a lender, or do you need to raise it up a little bit? All of us could certainly appreciate a little bit better credit score, but if you're interested in little things that you can do to help your personal and/or business score start improving, I've got a handout, a study guide that I'll be glad to share with you as you do that. Have you, at this point in time, have a mission, vision, and promise statement for your business? Even though your business hasn't started, you can do your mission, vision, and promise statements. What these are is a written statement right out of your mind, promising yourself primarily what you want your business to be and what kind of presentation you'll be making to the world with your company. And it is so important that you put it into words and think about it. I taught this for 14 years before 2 years ago. I actually got around to writing a mission, vision, and promise statement for my own company. And once I did, here's what I learned. It was not just BS. When you put your words on the internet and on every quote that you send out, then you're making a promise to that individual customer that you're going to have higher standards, and you say it in writing what they can expect from you. That really holds you to the mark. It really makes you make a commitment, because you're promising yourself every day. And if you have it on your website, every time someone looks at your website, they will expect more from you. And it's up to you to have the intestinal fortitude to see it through. Now, the good news, as you start doing that, your self-confidence will soar, and you'll feel better about yourself and better about your business, and the customers will share that with you. And it is amazing. So don't wait, as I did a lot of years before you put these mission, vision, and promise statements in gear and in front of the world. Share them with us here on through the courses. We'll talk about them with each other. Now, you're luckier than I was, because I have already sent to you a study guide that gives you a good eye-opener into how to start writing your own statements. I give you samples, give you lots of words to use as examples, and it's perfectly fine for you to copy somebody else's mission, vision statement if you adopt it and you plan to live it up. Don't put that off, because you'll be proud of yourself, your customers will be proud of you, and as new folks just in the marketplace, it will show someone that's thinking about doing business with you. This is the real deal. This person has vision, they're transparent, they trust themselves, and they're telling me right here that I can trust them, and they're putting it in writing. And a lot of people just won't do that. As a member of our academy, I want you to feel good about doing that, and that's why the academy has our own statements too that I sent you copies of. That's easy for me to say. Let this be your first piece of homework, is to do your mission, vision, and promise statements. While you're doing it, come up with the core values of your company, where you individually tell the world what's important to you, the way you do your business. So lots of information are in the handouts for you, and I want to encourage you to go ahead and do that. Talk about the purpose for your business, what you're trying to achieve, your mission, your vision, and your promise. So I can't say enough how important this has been to me, and I think it would be to you as well. Find a mentor or an advisor. I mentioned earlier to have a team of folks that will help you move forward in your business. Put those people in gear, start communicating with them, and again, Your small business center director can be a good one. I'll certainly be willing to help you and find other folks that you can talk to. Building a foundation for your business is really, really very important. And I'll say to you that if you've been in business for a while, and I know that Robbie is with us tonight, he's been in business for a long time, as I have, and I'm sure that you will agree, diversification of the products that you have has everything to do with the number of different customer groups, niche markets, people that are coming to do business with you. So diversification of your profit centers are very important. Next, you want to tag on a very positive attitude and a determination and show a lot of energy. Every morning when those doors open up and customers start coming in, they may be in a bad mood. They may be not feeling good. They may have been down on their luck. But it's important when they meet you or your employees that you're showing enthusiasm and a positive attitude and a willingness to help them have a better day. That goes through a long way. You want to have your personal goals in mind. Are you just taking the inner tube down the river and trying to stay between the banks and keep afloat and keep the catfish from nibbling at your toenails? Or are you powering your way down the river with goals and objectives in mind? There's a lot of difference there. And so many of us that just take the easy ride and float down the river in the inner tube versus taking charge and staying between the banks and achieving goals and timetables as we go. It's up to you to establish what your goals are. So if I would ask you right now, write down what your goals are for the next 6 months, and then on another page for the next 5 years. Would you have some good thoughts already in your mind? Put them down on paper and think about it. And you don't have to share them, but as you think about it, start making the changes that will automatically come to what you want to do. Anyone thinking about starting a new business, I want to tell you that is your personal goals that are more important than the business goals. Because if we're not achieving what you want to achieve, the business won't have a chance. So we're going to tie those together, okay? Revenues are going to come into play. The goals that you might have might just say sustainability. It might just say black ink. You might keep it real simple that way, and that's okay. But at some point in time, we can't write a business plan without talking about the dollars and cents. What is the amounts of money that we're going to be dealing with? That's why we need to go back to those profit centers that we talked about earlier, because each one of those profit centers needs to bring in an X amount of cash. And we don't estimate how much cash is going to come in so we can see how many profit centers we need to pay the bills that we're going to estimate. So a business planner and a business milepost is going to be very important for you, and we're going to get into that very seriously tonight. What is the scope of your business? I'm going to tell you, I encourage you to keep it small and keep it on a sound foundation. Find the courage to put your toes in the water to try new things, but don't take risks that are way outside of reasonable. Plan to stay small and keep moving forward. Are you legal? When I mentioned that you're getting ready to start an LLC, 99% of the people that's been to my webinars and seminars for the last 15 years, indeed, when they incorporate, go LLC. That's just the way it goes now. Folks that are operating a big manufacturing company or doing something tremendously large may go up to a different type of corporation. But most of the time when our business is LLC is just fine. The good news is in your handouts there's a video that covers basically how to get an LLC started in North Carolina. It's very good, very concise. We'll talk about creating the business entities later, but the first thing I can say to you is watch this video that I've sent to you. It's got a lot of information in it and will help you get started. If you want to start an LLC, is it difficult? It is not. Does it require a lot of expertise? It does not. Generally, a large bookkeeper, someone with a lot of experienced bookkeepers can help you do it. Definitely CPAs can, definitely lawyers can. And the rest of the story is most of my students through the years have done it themselves by following the information that's in the video. So keep your expenses down and just take it one step at a time, and it'll be just fine. Why do you need to have an LLC? Why do you need to be incorporated? The corporation has several different things that it brings to you. One is when you are born as a human being, in a few days you're given a social security number, and that's the way you're identified as an individual through the years. But when you birth a business and incorporate it, or just birth the business as a sole proprietor, you then get an EIN number, an employee identification number. That number is the same to the business as your social security number is indeed to the to your person. So if you get an LLC, you're going to need an EIN number. The LLC corporation standards give you the ability to move your personal interest outside of exposure in the case of lawsuits against the company. And it gives you some protections that you want. You won't be able to get insurance policies for your company unless you are incorporated and unless you have an employee identification number. You won't be able to get a business checking account unless you have an EIN number and or an LLC. So just the way business goes almost requires you to do this as you grow. If you already have a corporation or you already have an LLC, here's some good news for you. And you're getting ready to start a new entity or a new way of doing business, then that's where the DBAs come in, the doing business as. Because you can take the corporation that you already have and create DBAs under it that can operate legally under different names without going to a lot of expense with more bookkeeping and other issues like that. DBAs for entrepreneurs can be very, very important. They're definitely very important for me because I operate under one corporate name, Fast Forward Services Incorporated, then have 6 or 7 DBAs under that I do business as. It's very, very helpful when we start marketing on the internet too, to have these DBAs, which I'm excited about sharing with you too. So the limited liability company, a very important factor. You do a lot of reading about it. Don't worry about it at this point. It'll come natural when it's time for you to get there. Know now that risk-taking, R-I-S-K, risk-taking is a factor of being an entrepreneur. If you're making some money, I'm going to guarantee you there's going to be risk involved. If you're making some money, I'll guarantee you that the competition will love to knock you out of the seat. If you're making some money, I'm going to guarantee you there'll be questions coming along all the time. You're going to have to make a lot of decisions. And some of them you will make the wrong decision and things will go badly. And just say that. The more you do, the more chances to make mistakes are going to happen. And just accept it. Know it. What can you do about it? Improve your risk management situation. So a lot of you maybe hadn't heard this before, but risk management is what you do to protect yourself from yourself and from the mistakes that you make. And we'll talk a lot about that, different things you can do. A lot of people say, well, my whole risk management plan is just having a lot of insurance policies. Well, that's a lot of folks deal that way, and I understand that because that's what insurance policies are all about, is risk management. But the rest of the story is, which I give you a lot of help and save you a lot of money, most of your risk management work you can do with common sense, better housekeeping, better safety measures, better employee rules and expectations. So don't get worried about it. Don't let the risk scare you away. Let the risk make you learn and do more about your risk management, and that'll take a lot of anxieties away. You can see that I'm covering the mindset type stuff now. I'm not into the specifics of budgeting or marketing or reaching out to customers. We're in the overall mindset of things. Your biggest difficulty as you grow a business and as you keep it growing through the years is dividing your time up, setting priorities, and delegating different work. That's the toughest challenge that you and I will have as business owners. I deal with it every day, how much I would love to hire some employees to help me do some things and free up some of my time to do other things. That is a constant battle that you'll have as long as you're in business, or as long as you're trying to get your business to move forward and stay as profitable as you can. You have to manage people. You have to know how to get up very early, and sometimes you're working through the wee hours of the night. There'll be time to sleep. There'll be time to rest. Some people say, yeah, you do all the sleeping and resting when you want to when you die, but and that's probably true. But a type A personality like me, I can identify with that, and I'll push myself and have through the years sometimes far more than I should have. Trying to be a little wiser now and trying to be still and know from time to time that we have to get out of the noise, charge our battery, get back to reality, and reset priorities and go again. So that'll be the mode that I'm in for the next 6 weeks. So keep that in mind. But we have to delegate, learn to delegate and do things. I'm worried about being legal within my local community. I hear that a lot from you. But the good news is that every single town that's incorporated in North Carolina, every single town, indeed has a website now. And at that website, they generally have all their city codes and rules and things that we have to go by posted right there, whether it's zoning or advertising or fire codes or this and that. There's a lot to deal with, especially if you have a brick and mortar business. So before you start spending money on buildings and shelters or driveways or signs, make sure you touch base with the folks in your local community to see what types of rules or regulations they may have that you might have to make some adjustments. Don't be really, really cool and just go on out and say, hey, I know it all and I'm going to go ahead and do this and that, because you may have to do what old Steve-O had to do, and that's come back and tear some stuff down and redo things because I didn't know it all and I should have asked some questions. Let me just encourage you right now. Find out what the zoning situation is for your business. Find out what the fire codes are. Pay your registration fee so that the business will know you're in town. You need to do that. That's a protection for you in the town. So you can go to your local government website to get the information you need. There's a name right there that you can call. Great news for you. Every small town is generally very interesting in helping new businesses get started. I hadn't had anyone tell me in the last 5 years that a small town was hurting them get their business started. Yeah, there may be a butthole employee here and there in a fire code or a zoning rule or something like that. But indeed, most of the time, folks are very helpful. And if you find someone that's not helpful, then you talk to your city commissioner and tell them that, and they will probably have a change of attitude. You are an important person. I believe in you, and your town wants you to succeed just like you do. So be proud of yourself and ask the questions and ask folks to help you get there. Don't be shy about it. What is a EIN number? An employee identification number. It's the Social Security number for your business. You can get one yourself. You can go to the IRS website, the National IRS, Internal Revenue Service websites, and they got a place over in the menus that you can check, secure my EIN number. And if you can go right through it and set it up yourself, take you 5 minutes, won't cost you a penny, and you can do all this yourself. But now I'm going to tell you that the very minute you get to that page that talks about EIN, there's going to be a pop-up that comes up on the screen. If you'd like assistance in getting your EIN number, we can help you, and we'll do it for you. That's very attractive if you haven't never been here before and don't feel secure in what you're doing. Well, that pop-up is a fraud. And it's always going to be there. They don't pop up and charge you $300 to $500 to help you get your EIN number if you give them your credit card number. How do I know this? Because I did it. I bit the apple and did it. And they charged me $300 and gave me an EIN number. And so when I went to the bank and showed it to my banker lady, who told me I had to have an EIN number to set up a nonprofit fundraising event. I said, you should have told me they want to charge me $300. And she informed me that there's no charge, and I bit the apple, and I was a fool. Well, I had to agree with her. But I tell you what I did. I went to American Express and pled my case, and they got my money back, and I kept my EIN number. So if they do bite you, go to your credit card company. They'll get you off the hook. And hopefully you'll get your money back. But when the screen pops up, we can help you do this, ignore it. Just ignore it, and you won't have to do it. You just have to answer name, address, social security number type questions. Very easy to do. You don't have to be in touch with, if you're selling products or collecting sales taxes or having employees where you have to do withholding taxes, you are automatically, and congratulations, new entrepreneur, and you'll get in the tax business. And most of the tax businesses you'll have to deal with straightforward are those related to the North Carolina Department of Revenue. That's North Carolina Department of Revenue, and you'll quickly start calling them NCDOR. This is the organization, this is the IRS for North Carolina government. They look after your sales taxes, your resale tax, lots of different withholding issues to deal with. Good news is they're really a pretty nice bunch of people that are doing all they can to help an entrepreneur until you try to screw them. And then they lose their sense of humor, and they come after you with a hatchet. They will cut your fingers off. They will try to collect all the fines and interest that they can. So it's a two-way street. It's either fun and happy and we're all doing business, or it's a sad state of affairs. Let's stay over here in this fun and happy lane. Be in touch with the DOR. They've got offices in all the major cities. You can usually talk with someone on the phone by name, and they'll remember your name and help you. Every one of your small business center directors has a personal liaison with someone at DOR that they can help you get in touch with someone. And the DOR people come to the community colleges and give lesson plans and webinars on entrepreneur issues. They're good. It's a good thing to go to. So we're very lucky to have an NCDOR that is entrepreneur friendly. There's not a single issue that you'll have to deal with them that you can't work through it in a pretty short time. If your business is up and running and you're doing retail sales in a large volume, you already know that you've got a QuickBooks system, and such as that, maybe a bookkeeper that automatically is interested in collecting and putting aside tax money. I'll tell you this right now. Every certified public accountant that I ever talked to and asked them, what do I need to tell my brand new entrepreneurs? And they say, tell them that when they start collecting tax money, to pigeonhole it. Put it at a place that they won't spend it until it's time to send the money into the state. And it's an easy mistake to make, to do a lot of business, collect a lot of tax money, and spend it before the end of the month when you have to send it to the state. Be aware of that. It is a constant and continuing factor that we have to pigeonhole tax money to do it. Know that if you've got an employee that you're paying wages to, that means you're also, when you pay those wages, that you're putting money into a withholding account that's got to go to the state in a short period of time. More people get in trouble in a hurry related to not paying the taxes on time, and lots of time it's just because you didn't know. You were so busy doing business, you forgot to look after the tax issues. You can't do that. You can't do that. If you know that you can't manage your time in such a way to do it, then you must appoint someone, delegate someone to manage these tax issues for you, because it's going to be there the rest of your business life. Every month, you don't have to deal with it. With the local laws and the state laws, there's going to be some things you have to buy. Business permits or privilege licenses or business registrations. That all means the same thing. And that's basically when you go to your local government and say, I'm going to operate a business right here in town. I want to be registered so the fire marshal knows where I am, the zoning man knows where I am, and the tax people know where I am, the water and sewer people know where I am. You need to register your business. it's a protection for you in the sense that people that are flim-flammers that come into town and try to set up on the street corners, they're supposed to register, and hopefully the city police will run them out of town if they're operating illegally. So you just know that if you're operating in the city limits of business, you need to register your business. You may have to register with the county as well. I don't know the answer to that, but you would call your county clerk at the county seat to find that out. But here's what business registration looks like. I've had one of these for 65 years now. Always just a plain piece of paper that's got our name on it and our registration number and how long it's good for. And I think this cost me about $55 a year. A lot of small towns and communities don't charge small businesses, especially new ones, anything for your first registration. So give that some thought. This is the spot that a lot of people would ask me, well, Steve, do I need to join my Chamber of Commerce? I don't say to you, I don't know what the fees are in your community, but if they're anywhere close to reasonable and you can afford them and you've got the cash flow to do it, then belonging to your Chamber of Commerce as a brand new entrepreneur does a couple of things for you. Number one, it lets the Chamber recognize you as a new business person. And that means all the members of the Chamber of Commerce recognize you. And maybe you'll have some instant business coming to them because you joined the Chamber. Instant business coming to you. Number two, usually when you join your dues, then you're going to get a menu or a roster of all the other Chamber members. And remember, I said we want to keep that fresh bait in the water and keep sending out promotions. That's the easiest and usually least expensive way to get a great email list to start your database with local business folks. So give that some thought. Talk to your Chamber of Commerce, see what the fees are, and sometimes they will do ribbon cuttings for your new business, even as a home-based business. They can do a ceremony and a gathering and a reception for you at the Chamber office. It's a good thing to do. Now, whether or not you stay with the Chamber year after year, you'll have to gauge that for yourself, depending on what their costs are and what benefits you see coming from it. But if you expect the people in your local community to come and do business with you locally, they expect you to be a member of the Chamber and an active member. You have to see and be seen for folks to know that you're there and come and do business with you. At the NCSBC, that's the place where you came to register for this, to come to the webinar. There's a page on there that says resources. You click on it right here up on the header. This resources section in this website is packed full of pertinent information for every new entrepreneur. So it's a resource that you might want to go to and when you're surfing and have some time, read through that and you'll find lots of good information there. You can operate your business at home, a home office, and go out from it. Retail business with bricks and mortar. Each one of these is important. And before we get to next week talking about our business plan and our budgeting, I want you to determine, write down each one of these, how it's going to affect your expenses. What do you going to need to do to maintain your business at home? Are you going to need to build another room, buy some equipment, spend some money? Will there be some startup costs? Do you have an outside building you can use for an office, which is very advantageous when you come to collecting deductions when we get to the tax issues? Can you call an outside building your office and use it as such? Important for you. If it's a bricks and mortar type situation, have you shopped around for the building? Do you know about what your expenses may be rent-wise or what your budget can stand? That's pretty much where people are right now. Biggest mistake so many entrepreneurs make, especially with their starting up a food services business, a restaurant of some type like that, is they pay, their business is working hand in glove for the landlord, and they're unable to put aside any extra money because their rent's just too high for what they're doing. Now, this is a risky situation. You got to have the business, you got to have the traffic, but you got to have a lot of volume to create a lot of money to end up with a little bit of your profit share going towards the rent of a building. So I've got a handout that before you sign any leases, I'd like for you to read this and think about it. Do's and don'ts before signing any leases. And don't be in too big a hurry to rent a space just because it seems like it's a great deal. Do your homework there. Talk to your counselor or your advisor before you sign anything and know what you're looking at, because this is a big opportunity to make a huge mistake. Lots of people that have been in business a long time and want to expand their business or grow somewhere find themselves in a situation when they opened up a satellite business somewhere else that the location really wasn't good, but they're already there, or the rent is really a lot higher than it should be for the revenue that's coming in. Do your homework here, and let's avoid that pitfall when you're opening up your business and deciding where you're going to be. Now, individually, I look you right in the eye. I look right in the eye, each one of you, and say, can you sell what you've got to sell? Can you, as an individual, do you have the skills, the salesmanship skills, to actually sell it? And I'm not talking about a deal where you put a price tag on it and you simply say, take it or leave it. I mean, heck, anybody can do that. And everybody tries to do that. In other words, let's be Walmart. Take it or leave it. Here's a low price. If you'll pay it, great. If not, go on down the road. We are not going to go there with Steve Carver. I'm going to tell you, you want to offer the customer some salesmanship, some opportunities to create a relationship. Relationship building is your goal, not just selling every one little item one at a time. So have you developed a marketing and selling plan for yourself? Will they buy it? Do you have the ability to close a deal? Do you know the secrets of closing? The little things that make a lot of difference. Who are these potential customers? Have you got a good idea where they are, which community they're in? What revenue, income range will I find them in? Are we selling nationwide, or are we going to focus in Sampson County? Are we selling nationwide or statewide, or are we going to focus in Nash and Edgecombe County? You need to have an answer to these questions. And now, how can I reach these people? Is the internet the best way? Is telephoning the best way? Is direct mail the best way? What's the best way for me to reach out and to have these customers? We'll say in week 4, how can we find customers? And the answer to this question is always going to be, we help them find us. So I will ask you, what are you doing to help customers find you? What are you doing to help customers find you? It's all about the mindset that we're working in. The more profit centers we have, the more marketable profit centers we have, the more MPCs we have, marketable profit centers, the more diversified our customer base can be. What are your marketable profit centers? And what is the individual customer, target customer bases that will come to you for those individual centers? So now let's get back and talk specifics. Marketable profit centers, type 1, new customers and promote daily traffic. How are you going to attract those particular people as new customers to come to you? We need a plan, because we got to have new customers. Let's use the convenience store as an example. The convenience store has 2 major things right now that they make very little money on, but it's all about bringing in new customers and promoting daily traffic. The number one thing convenience have is the selling of gasoline, because they can change the price of that gasoline 1 penny and make a major difference in the number of customers that come in the store every day. 1 penny difference. So gas prices are usually very competitive, not much profit being made by the convenience store there, but it's important to them because they can control traffic flow by the price of gas that they're charging. And the next big issue, and like this week, it's getting bigger because the jackpots and the lottery drawings are getting real high. I'll guarantee you that the convenience stores are seeing their daily traffic flow really go up because there's more people buying lottery tickets. There's always a lot of people buying lottery tickets, but when the jackpots get big, the traffic flow gets really big too. Therefore, they bring in more customer traffic. What are we doing? What are you doing in your business to bring in new customers and more daily traffic? That's a question we have to answer and do it well. Another thing the convenience stores do or the fast foods is have a $5 meal. All of them have got some type of $5 meal they're promoting. Every fast food business in the world, or at least in North Carolina and the United States, have a $5 special deal. So that's bringing in those new customers off the street. But we all know that we got to make some money somewhere, and we need to make our bucks on repeat business and merchandise profits of higher profit margins, because those deals that we're doing with creating daily cash flow is low margin. So we got to have something in our business that has higher margin and a lot of repeat business. So back to McDonald's, yeah, they got the $5 meal, but the average price that people pay for any one meal at McDonald's now is over $10. I think the average is $11. And how did we get there? They came in with $5, but go out and spend $11. It's upsizing. It's having those big ticket items, or not big ticket, but merchandising items that people want to get and continuously buy that really raises the profits up. They made more profit on the upsells part than they did on the $5 meal, but they really promote the upsizing, the extra things that you can get. What is that related to what we talked about earlier? And by the way, yeah, you can get this $5 meal, and by the way, you can upsize it for this amount of money. You can add this, you can add that. That's what we need to do too. That's what will help our business do it so much. And now, the grocery stores will tell you that they have their leaders or big sales deals to bring people in. Their profit center number one. But profit centers where they make their most money are on the impulse items that people buy. Just think about it when you go to Food Line and you go down through some of the aisles. It's nothing there that you really need, but it's everything that maybe you really want, and you'll pick it up and buy it. That 12 to 20 feet in front of the cash register, it's got all these merchandising places. They make more profits there than they do in the rest of the store. What can we do in our business to create merchandise type selling? And we all can do a little bit, or maybe we all can do a lot to make a lot of difference. Remember, and by the way, where your extra monies are going to come from. At the car dealership, they got millions of dollars worth of new pickups and cars out on the lot. But every new car dealership will tell you they don't make hardly any money on the sale of new cars. They make the money on used cars, and they make the money in the parts and service departments. But they got to have those cars out there to bring customers in. When you're thinking about starting your business, a lot of us say, hey, I want to be in this business or that business because it just looks so good when I go in and do business. But we have to, as entrepreneurs, know what's going on behind the counter and back in the bookkeeping department before we make a decision on how we're going to set our business up. Because lots of times your profitability is not where most people think it is. So, again, stay with it long enough. Stay with these classes long enough to pick up these little tidbits that'll help you design and mold your business for the most profitability for yourself. Third items are the big ticket items. And maybe you'll just sell expensive stuff like used cars or new cars or tractors or boats or something. They're big ticket items, but because of what I just said, that doesn't mean there's a lot of profit there. But there's a lot of money to be handled. And the more volume you're handling, the better your chances are is to create more profit, even though it may be a low margin. But if it's a big ticket item, those low margins add up to some pretty big deposits. I want you to have that. In every business, even though you're selling small invoice items, or maybe not expensive stuff, maybe you're selling hot dogs. And hot dogs, you just can't charge so much for a hot dog. But the key is to find those customers that buy 100 hot dogs at a time, or they buy 100 hot dogs plus 100 cheeseburgers to go with it. Package and bundle your items so that you can put together big ticket sales. And we do that right from the beginning, whether we're offering services, virtual services to other businesses. We'll think about how to put together a contract on a contract basis rather than just per hour. There's a certain amount of volume that you agree that you're going to get in so you can give that customer a certain amount of attention. And we'll think about putting those types of arrangements together. But big ticket sales are going to be very, very important for you. So let's go to Smithfield Chicken and Barbecue, which is one of my favorite places to eat and to dine. But, you know, they've got their $5 meal, but also they've got their deals where you can spend $370. And I think they came to one of my webinars and picked up on this. But at any rate, they've got the big ticket sales with tailgating issues, family catering, and things like that. And you can do the same thing. We have to do the same thing to be a full-fledged business with a good chance for sustainability. Figure out a way to create some big ticket items. How can you do this alone? Don't care what the business is. If it has a significant amount of business to generate a full-fledged income, business income, you are going to have some help. And indeed, that help may not be employees that help you, but it may be other people that you hire as contractors or just extra employees. So know right now, let me tell you, that you're not going to be able to grow your business to a large business right by yourself. There's always going to be a need to bring other people in. And that means that you always need to have your radar up, looking for other people that you might be pairing up with or hiring or sharing services in a mutual beneficial arrangement to do it. What am I asking you to do? Be shrewd, be savvy, keep your radar on, and always be looking for other types of people or businesses that you might merge or join with, that y'all have a mutual beneficial relationship. That is a really important key for entrepreneurs just getting started. Startup costs can be small or they can be large, but whatever you think they are, I will guarantee you they're probably going to triple before you get your business started. So start now, before we get into next week's lesson, thinking about how much money you need to spend to take your business to the next level, and itemize out what you're going to spend it for. Once you come up with that number, we're going to be able to plug it into a budget and then try to find the ways to make the revenues come up with enough black ink to pay for your budget items. List all the items down. Every business will be different, but it's up to you to make your own list of how it's going to go. You think you might have to be borrowing some money at the bank? I don't tell you, good luck. Because it's really tough for a new business person to go to the bank and borrow money. Why? Because number one, very seldom do you have any equity in anything, or are able to put together a history of paying debts and things like that. So you're going to be up against the odds as a new entrepreneur borrowing money. But there's some things that can help, and that is if you improve your roots in the community where people can find you, prove that you've paid your taxes for at least the last 3 years. I've got a pretty decent credit score. I have a worthy reputation of paying your bills, especially in the community. Are you making a down payment, or do you have any skin in the game yourself? Do you know what you're doing? Are you saying, I'm wanting to have this new business I'm starting, but I don't know anything about it? That's not going to work with the loan officer. Not only do you need to know a lot about it, but you need to be able to prove it. One of the ways that you can prove that you know right much about your business and have a good plan is to complete this course and complete the homework in it, and you'll leave with a business plan and a marketing plan and a good idea where you're headed that you can show to a loan officer, and they will be impressed. They will be impressed, and we're happy for that. You ever heard the term big kahuna? It's a term that has been used through the years, mainly with the main chief or queen of a Polynesian village. In other words, they've got all the authority, they've got the history, they got the family. In other words, they are in charge. And the big kahuna in small business and in entrepreneurship is, who is the big kahuna in your game? Who is the big kahuna in the business you're thinking about getting started in? Who is that private operator who does it better than everybody else year after year? You want to find them. You want to see how they're marketing. You want to see what they're doing. You want to see how they're selling. You want to look at their ads, their social media, their websites, and study what's making them the big kahuna. Because you know what every big kahuna knows? that someday he's going to lose that position because there's people like you and me out here that want to take that title away from him. Now, I've had the honor through the years to be the big kahuna on 5 or 6 different issues. Certain models of tractors or forklifts that I sold more than anyone else, or more volume in this particular field, or more tractors of a certain model, the number one in the country. That's a good feeling. And to get there, you know, make a lot of other people mad by taking business away from them. But it is a good feeling. And the best feeling about it is that you know you've got to keep changing to stay there. Or know that you need to be ready to move on and become the big kahuna in the next hot thing. Staying on top of the game on the front end side of a wave like you're surfing keeps you moving forward. Getting stale and not caring and let other people stay on top of the wave and get the bulk of the new business, the bulk of the profitability, the bulk of the new customers is signing your own death warrant for going stale in your business. So being the big kahuna sometimes don't mean getting really big in your business. It means making the changes that it takes to keep you viable and alive and strong for the next generation. Be what you need to do to be the big kahuna. Surround yourself with good mentors and advisors. I was in the Coast Guard, and those I was in the Coast Guard, Navy, or Marine Corps, and there's a term called sea lawyers. That's people when you're out on the boat or on the ocean. There's people that know everything about everything and can give you advice, and they're just know-it-alls. There's plenty of those folks around. Be careful, but especially if you've got some friends or family that, now that you think about it, think they're just blowhard know-it-alls because they're just interested in hearing their lips flap instead of giving you good, sound advice. Sometimes we need to part company with those and find people that will encourage you and give you good advice. Good mentors will be so very important for you. A lot of advice you just want to ignore and run from. Some you want to give serious consideration. It needs to be your mind at work, but it doesn't hurt to get a lot of opinions. Your competition will indeed have something to do with how well your business does, but it's not what they're going to do. It's not what the competition is going to do to you or for you. It is how you read and comprehend and adjust to deal with the competition that's out there competing for your customers. We don't have to outwork them, thank them, brand them, do guerrilla marketing, make sure that value added is something that we own and that we outlast those competitors. So very important. The bottom line here is to outlast them and doing what it takes. But you got to know them first. So if you have no clue who the other people in your community or region that's out here marketing and vying for your potential customers, there's some homework to do here. And you need to do it. That's something I can't do for you, but you need to do it. What is your most dangerous threat? Now, if you're kind of snoozing away now and just thinking, well, this is kind of boring, Steve, I'm not really enjoying this, but I'm going to hang in here with you anyway. Well, I'm sorry, but hey, listen to me. I'm going to talk to you right now about your biggest threat, and it will make all the difference in the rest of your entrepreneurial life, because the most dangerous threat that you have right now is fighting distractions. It's the same threat that I have, and the only thing that we can do is just live the life we have to live. But fighting distractions is taken away from the time and effort and energy and attention that we need to give to getting this new business started or to getting our business revamped and on the road again. And the way that we fight distractions is set priorities. How can we expect something different to happen during the next 6 weeks as we take this course? How can we expect something different to happen if you don't change anything? Well, it won't. Yeah, you'll put in 2 hours once a week and maybe enjoying something to sink in, but to take the action mode means that priorities have to be changed. So that you say to yourself, I'm going to do this particular part of my goals that I've set that I'm going to do. And to do this, I don't have to put something else on the back burner. That's just the plain truth. Now, I started teaching this 4 years ago now, and it has really helped me because it's a problem we all have. when I wake up in the morning, and it's really hard sometimes for me to get my old head up off the pillow, but I'm awake, but it's just hard to get moving. And so usually what I do right now during that waking up period, I'll automatically click in my brain to say, okay, Steve-O, you can lay here and rest a few minutes, but put your brain to work. What are the 3 things you want to do today before lunch? What are the 3 important things you need to do before lunch today to move your business to the next level or do this important thing? And I'll remember these 3 things. And then when I get up and I start my day and get out to my desk and do things, I'll start backing people away or backing distractions away, putting things aside while I bring my focus on these 3 things to complete them before lunchtime. And it's tough sometimes. We have to tell a friend, I'll call you back later. Or, I just can't do that now, maybe tomorrow. I need to pay these bills, but that's going to take about an hour of time. I need to get this stuff done. I pay the bills after lunch today. Try to set your priorities, 3 things that you're going to finish before lunch, and then work like the devil to make it happen before you have lunch. Now, some days it's 3 o'clock before I have lunch. I'll tell you that. But I generally stay with this plan. Sometimes it's 4 o'clock before I have lunch. Sometimes I'll ask my wife to go get us something so I can work through lunch. But getting these priorities in place and making some things happen that need to happen is the single way that I've found to keep the dots moving forward. Keep that wheel moving forward, because it's got to keep moving. And when we start making decisions or making the dots that cause a bumpy road or keep us from doing it, that's a bad thing. Now, in honesty, some days I don't get any of those things done. The distractions are just too strong or too important, and I can't put them off. But I'm trying. And maybe working 5 days a week, usually at least 3 days, I'm able to get it done. And when I don't get something done that first day, the second day is definitely on my list, number 1, and it will happen. If I wasn't doing that, it may never happen. So let me invite you to try my little plan. It's really helped me to set those priorities every day and to make a difference for you. What can you do in your thinking, your mindset right now to make your business last longer, be more sustainable, and for you to have less stress? Really important things. 1, target customer groups, specifically a group of customers for each one of your niche markets, and then work on making your marketing to get to them. In week 4, we're going to do a lot of that. Constantly update your customer database. Put in place a system where you're adding email addresses every day, every chance you get to add to your database. Going to be very, very important for you, because that database will become like money in the bank for you once you get your promotions campaign and email campaign up and running. Remember that one of these priorities you've got to do is to send out constant promotions. So you can't do that too early. If you're just now getting your business started, go ahead right now and start your database. Start practicing sending information out to them. Now, you're going to see me, once I have your email address, and until you tell me to stop, I'll send you lots of email. 1, to promote our classes and what we're trying to learn, but 2, just to show you the different ways that you can go about using the database. Now, most entrepreneurs think, I'm going to learn how to sell my stuff, and when I get an order, I will be a winner. When I get an order and I can get some money and go make a deposit, I have won. Hallelujah. Give myself a hand, pat myself on the back. And that is good. And I don't celebrate with you and give you a toast too when you make that first sale and make that first nice deposit. But right after that glass comes down and we've made the toast, I'm going to be in your ear and I'm going to remind you, the work now begins. The work with entrepreneurship and sustainability is not to make the sale. It's not to make the deposit. The real work that keeps you in business is to follow up after the sale. Follow up getting that customer information into your database. follow up, talking to that customer, making sure that you use every chance you can to quiz them on what they need next in your marketing plan. What products do you need to have ready? When are they going to buy again? Do they know someone that's in the marketplace? Your DNA as a successful entrepreneur is going to be all about following up. Whether or not you sold the customer something, let's say a customer comes in or calls you and you don't make the sale. Maybe what you have didn't price right, or you just didn't have the right service. But if they called you, your marketing plan is working, and you need to get that same information as if you sold them something, and to make them feel that they are important and you care about them, even though they didn't buy something from you. That is the exact moment when you start relationship building. And relationship building is what brings the customers back and back and back, and it's what creates those raving fan customers. So we're going to talk a lot about relationship building and getting that information. Follow up and follow up with the customer is just as important as making the sale. Now, some of you may already have businesses that have a lot of customers coming in every day to your business right now. I'll have a question for you. At the cash register where people are coming and going, do you have a drawing going on there where someone can draw for $100 prize or a free gift certificate every month or 2 months or so? And on that drawing ticket, they fill out their name and address, and they have to put their email address on there. Do you have something going on in your business or at your church where you're constantly bringing in new email addresses and contacts to build your customer base? If you were on a battleship or a submarine, you wouldn't be out there floating around with big guns and big rockets without ammunition, without explosives. And the more ammunition you carry, the more effective you could be in a firefight. The more ammunition you carry in your database directly affects your ability to reach out and reach more customers and make more sales. Very important. How many times have I said this is very important tonight? A lot. Was every time the truth? It was. Could you get it all in tonight? Probably not. That's why it's good to watch the video tomorrow. It may be good for you to come back on Thursday night. It may be good for you to think about it, ask questions. I don't accept you think that anyone can absorb all this in a 2-hour period from an old 77-year-old fellow who has trouble talking sometimes. But if you listen to it several times, maybe it'll sink in and you'll get the benefit that I'm trying to share with you. So keep your mind open, keep absorbing, and keep the sponge working for you. Naming your business in DBAs, doing business as, very quickly. DBAs do 2 things for you. 2 big things. One, DBAs let you set up different entities in your business doing different services at different places, maybe different locations under different names, so that more people will come to them without raising your cost of doing business. DBAs from the fundamental side is being able to name your businesses lots of different names to make it more attractive to more people shopping. Secondly, DBAs allow you to name your products different names because people call different products different things, even though they're the same thing. A pair of tennis shoes to me might be a pair of running shoes to someone else, or a pair of walking shoes to the next person. And I'm selling these shoes, and I want people to find them on the internet. So I'll have a web page for the same shoe, one web page called tennis shoes, one web page called walking shoes, one page may be called hiking shoes. Using DBAs is a powerful marketing tool that we all can use, especially if we're in retail work and have a lot of good products to sell. You can see your sales multiply immediately by putting DBAs and SEO, search engine optimization, at work at the same time. That's week 4. I'm going to talk about that a lot. Do you need a business plan? We do. We might call it a budget plan. We might call it other items. We might call it a business planner. But no plan is awful. A bad plan is better than nothing. Next week, let's put together a budget and a business plan and start on a marketing plan. It'll be simple and easy to do. Look forward to talking to you about that then. Discounting. A lot of folks say, well, if I can be the cheapest guy in town, I'll sell all the stuff. I understand that. That's the Walmart attitude. And I don't say to you that discounts are important, but I don't want you to give a single discount in your business. I don't want you to give a single or offer a single discount in your business unless you planned in advance to offer it. Because when you plan your advertised marketing price, plan your discounts in there, and then you can offer your discounts and still end up with the profit that you need and plan for. It's the difference in having the cart before the horse. Planning your pricing to allow negotiating room and discounting room and still end up with the profit that you need is a good thing. I'm going to tell you something you don't know. There are three kinds of buyers out here in today's world in Eastern North Carolina. There are those buyers that are the Walmart cheap crowd. And maybe you're that buyer on some days. I am on some days. I don't care whether they make 1 penny or stay in business another day. I need the cheapest price I can get. The almighty dollar, I hear people say, is more important than anything else. Those people buy a lot of stuff, and I want you to be able to sell to them. And then there's another set of buyers who I think I'm more like most of the time. Yeah, I can appreciate value. I don't mind paying a few pennies more. I want the company that I'm doing business with to stay in business. Therefore, I will favor them with my business because we've got a relationship going on. Very few people would say you've got a warm and fuzzy relationship with Walmart, right? But other places that you go to, you do feel like, hey, I want to shop here because I like these people. I like that they're in business in my neighborhood. I don't want them to go out of business. I appreciate the fact that if I always buy cheap, I won't always buy from them. Those people will indeed let you make a little profit. Sometimes a lot of profit. They let you make your plan profit. And they might ask for a discount every now and then. And I want you to be in a position to offer them that because you're not going to say take it or leave it. That's the second group of customers. But there's a third group of customers out there, and they're a limited number, maybe down as low as 15 or 20%, that will pay the price on the tag. They will pay a high price on the tag because some people have a lot of available money, and they want you to stay in business because you've got a relationship with them. And whatever that price tag is that you put up there, as long as it's in reason, they'll pay it and let you make a really bonanza profit on that item. You didn't take advantage of them, but you made a reasonable good profit. Those people let you do that. If you set up your business from day one, whatever it is, services, Sarah, or selling insurances or hardware, Robbie, if you set your business up to begin with, is I'm just going to try to get that cheap customer because that's what most of my community is, that's who you'll get. And even the customers that would have paid you 10 or 15 or 20 or 100 more dollars for a certain item, they'll come and take advantage of your small price. But indeed, if you use some marketing savvy and wisdom and build your advertised selling prices enough to give you some negotiating room, you will see your profit start increasing. It's just that simple. But it's going to take a little bit of brain power and planning and some hit and misses, make a few mistakes. But in the long term, you'll make more money, but more importantly, you'll create more positive relationships with RFCs. And what is an RFC? Raving fan customer. Believe me, stay with this, especially in week 3 and week 4. We'll show you how it works. Wrap up time. You'll be getting a survey in email asking you to evaluate this webinar, probably tomorrow, maybe even tonight. Please tell them it's the best webinar you've ever been to. That's helped my job security. But tell the truth. Tell them what they need to know for future webinars and more information. might even have a chance to set up an appointment for yourself. But it's important that you answer these questionnaires. My goal is at the end of this series, you will have gained hundreds of tips and strategies to help you. But the first one at the top of the list is you have earned and adopted a feeling that I will keep my principles in front of my profits. I am more about helping people and being a giver than a taker. I'm more about walking away from dirty, bad business. I'm about doing business by the golden rule, and proud of that fact, letting people know that I live my life and run my business to help people and to do things right. Keeping principles above profits. You start out by doing this by getting that mission, vision, and promise statement out there. Give this some serious thought. What can you do to own this as your own? Not necessarily trying to sell it to the world, but having a legacy as being a giver instead of a taker. Congratulations, entrepreneur. Very few people get to where you are. Yeah, there may be millions of us, but there's many, many times millions that never would have the courage to do it. So first of all, congratulations for considering it. And the very minute that you have started doing this, you are creating a legacy as a business person. And you're in control of that. So keep that in mind. Make it a good one. Endurance was the word. Endurance in chapter 24. You must have endurance to finish strong. I got this little lesson from a preacher at Elizabethtown back last summer. I'm so glad to do it. Our endurance is to be in the game and to finish strong. 5 points I want to share with you. Number one, pace yourself. As we start through this series, pace yourself. Not my pace. I know it motivates you to go, but that's noise. You decide what the plan is, what the circle is of the dots, but keep moving forward and do it at your own pace. Number two, humble yourself. Recognize the fact that I don't know it all and you don't know it all, but together we can gain knowledge. We can gain knowledge, and always, every time we meet, and as the series goes through, we'll start becoming friends and almost family with a lot of people that keep attending the courses, and we'll learn more about them, and we learn from each other. But we're no better than anyone else, no matter what size shoes or how their shoes look, or their pants, or their hairdo, or their jacket. No matter what their station in life, every human being is important to us, number one, as a person, and number two, as a potential relationship that will help our business and we can help them. Find your inspiration. Find a place to help lift your spirits. Maybe it's in song, maybe it's in music. I believe that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and I'm proud to say that, and I'd like for you to meet my Jesus sometime if you haven't met him. But I can find inspiration in thinking about the life he lived and the way he made his decisions. It helps me from time to time. Do I make a lot of mistakes and fall by the wayside? Hell yeah. Yeah. But I still go back to my foundation for inspiration, and that is so important as we're out here trying to start new businesses. It's so important to be able to show people that you have some foundation of faith in something. So if you're wandering around and you don't have that and you're just drifting down the river, stay with us for 6 weeks. Maybe you'll find something worth hanging on to. And then drop a few pounds is always important, right? I'm not talking about these pounds right here. I got on this big old belly that I put together after 77 years. That's not the pounds I'm talking about. I'm saying drop a few pounds of stubbornness. Drop a few pounds of procrastination. Drop a few pounds of unorganization. Look at the things that maybe we can drop a few pounds of and help us improve our priorities. And lastly, I don't say, maybe you need to drop a few pounds of people that are influencing you that are bad influences. Find some smart people. Find some people that's interested in really helping you go forward and will encourage you. And understand it's not an easy trip. Understand. Drop a few pounds of bad influence and replace it with good influence. That can make a major difference for all of us. And lastly, focusing on the finish line is endurance. Now, maybe the finish line you want to set as a goal is to finish this course. Maybe it's just to stay with me another 5 minutes, but the finish line to see your business get through the first year or have your first customer. Focus on that finish line, and then let's start taking steps to get there. But if you don't have that focus, there's not going to be the incentive to get there. So I'm encouraging you to do that. I have to do this all the time. Every time I bring in a new profit center, every time I start a new marketing campaign, and let me tell you, fall is here, and I'm 2 weeks behind on marketing my fall stuff. I should have been doing what I've got to do tomorrow 2 weeks ago. So my priorities got out of line, but things get that way sometimes. But I'm going to be banking it, and I'll send y'all copies of it. Focus on what you need to do. Now, if you're already in business and you don't have a seasonal campaign started, get with it. Go ahead and do it for the next 3 weeks, because in 4 weeks, before this course is over, we're going to need to be talking about the holidays and getting those plans in place. So focus on your finish lines and get there. Next week, budgeting 101, how to get a timeline and a business plan going on. So let me say to you as we're closing, it's good to meet you. Thank you for coming and sharing time with me and with all the rest of us. I consider you my family as of right now, but let your light shine like a lighthouse. When you go out in the world when it's dark and it's cold, let your light shine. Let it be a beacon to other people that you're on the right path, and you will help them show the right way. Remember that we're all living in the goodness of God. You can't get around it, so just accept it and be happy about it. We are living in the goodness of God. So thank you so much. God bless you. Stay with us. I appreciate any comments that you have. Put down, someone saying I hadn't received any email. Well, Tasha, you'll get a lot tomorrow. Thank you for writing that down. I'll leave the chat board open for a while in case y'all think of some questions you need to ask or anything. So any comments from anyone, y'all can turn your microphones on. I'd love to talk to you.
What is the homework for next week?
Say again, please. What did you ask, Mika?
What is the homework for next week?
The homework for next week is for you to start on your mission, vision, and promise statements. And if any of you are following up from previous courses and you've already done some of this homework, you can send that old homework back in to me and we'll apply it to this session. Okay? Any other comments? All right. Well, the debate will be starting.
For next week, emailing.
Are you talking with me, Tasha? I didn't understand you.
Are we just emailing you the mission, vision, and promise statement for next week?
Yes, that would be just fine. But I suggest that you look at the email, and we'll send to you that gives you good tips on doing those statements, and wrap them up and just send them to me as you complete them. And I'll share information with everyone, and we can all learn from each other. Okay? Thank you so much. Sarah, thank you for leaving your video on. It's just like having someone in the classroom. It makes it so much easier for me. I appreciate you so much. All right. Well, good night, everybody. God bless you and your family and your business. Take care.